All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we've got a pretty chill one lined up for you today for Saturday. I've got three random leaders we're going to go over, just a single game of each. Today's going to be a much more lighthearted, laid-back video. We're not going to be getting into any deep deck dives or anything like that, and we don't have a lot of games to go over in the sim. We only got 3 games to go over in the sim, but we're still going to have a little bit of fun with it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get straight into it. I'll lay out the video for you real quick. First things first, we're going to check out the 3 games on the sim, and then after that, we're going to check out the deck list for each one. Like I said, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter video by my standards. So let's do this. We've got some pretty fun leaders to go over, so I can't wait to show you all this. I will have everything timestamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that in the comments section below. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comments section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. One more thing I want to mention is that at the time you're recording this, we will be having a locals tonight on the Discord, okay? We have those every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now on the VV Theory Discord. Again, the link is in the channel description. Okay, so be sure to hang out in there if you want to check that out, okay? All right, let's do this, guys. Let's get into the very first game here. We have a game of green-black Issho versus blue Buggy. That's right. Excuse me. Let's get the volume off, the speed on 2x, and here we go. We got some spicy ones lined up for today. We got some green-black Issho, and then we've got some green Oden. That's right. And then we got some blue Ivankov. That's right, Ivankov. So the Buggy's going to get to go first here. They're going to start off with the stage. Seems good. We're going to follow up with a Rosinante. Remember, guys, that is a Navy card, by the way. And so he's going to swing in for 5 on his turn 2, and he's going to play out a Mr. 3 Galdino. We do 2k counter to get out of that 5k attack. We don't want to dip down too low because our curve is so good right now. I am going to pause for a second. Notice how good our curve is. So we were going second. Turn 1 Rosinante into turn 2 Kuzan or Borsalino. Probably the Kuzan's the better call here to draw more cards. And then turn 3 we can follow up with the one we didn't play from the turn before and have 2 extra Dawn to mess around with. Straight into a Rosinante on our 8 Dawn turn. Okay, so we did counter out very aggressively there, especially by my standards. Anyone who follows this channel or who's been following for long enough knows I like to take life pretty aggressively because those life cards are a huge resource. We're going to play out the Kuzan on curve, and then they're going to swing for 5. We do have to take this one. I don't want to give them these other 2 cards in my hand. You know, the T-Bone might come in handy if we need to pop something, and then the Borsalino is just a good blocker to have. Okay, here we go. They're going to pass it back, and I think we're going to take this turn to try to get that Draco Mihawk off the board. Right, the Draco Mihawk, I want to keep all his 5 cost and higher characters off the board. Because for those who are not aware, Buggy wants to fill out the entire board with 5 cost and higher characters, and then they can get some really big benefits from that. With number 1, just having a huge board, and 2, they get to play down their 10 cost Buggies and get full value from them. So we're going to go ahead and pop the okay, pause. So we go ahead and pop their Draco Mihawk, and they follow up with a Pudding. Let me tell you something right now, guys. I've never been so happy to see a Pudding. It did not fix my hand. It did technically weaken my hand because I lost 3. I had 3 dead cards in there, right? I mean, actually 4 if you count the Rosinante, but I don't really care about that. I'm just happy my opponent just used their entire turn to develop a 4-cost character on their 7 Dawn turn. I took the hit. They punished me with a Pudding. You know, at least in their mind. You know, in the Buggy player's mind, he did punish me with Pudding. But it's like, yeah, yes, but that was your entire turn, and my board is still looking very nice. I've got 2 5k attacks on the board and my leader attack. So here we go. And he did also declog my hand a little bit. We had 3 dead cards in there, at least. So now we're going to start off just swinging 5k, 5k minimums here with what's on the board. Yep, just trying to get cards from my opponent's hand. He is countering out very, very aggressively. I mean, hyper aggressively. Okay. And then we're going to play out the Rosinante. We're going to play out the X-Drake. Even though it can't KO anything, we're still going to play it out because it has a good, it's going to help us get the board here, keep the board. They're going to Sanji's pull off. They're looking for something here. I don't know what they're going to do at this point. Okay, they are able to play out a Crocodile, cheating out the 5-cost Mr. 1 Dawes Bones. And now he's probably going to go 6 into one of my characters here, and we're just going to 2k counter out. Or actually, we're going to block there because I want to put another character on the board. Okay, that Issho's not going to help very much in this matchup, but that's okay. We're going to play out the brand new to do a top search here. We're going to start swinging in, and I think we're just going to swing in for a bunch of 6s here. Yeah, because we want to just follow up with a blocker, or who knows, maybe we can go for lethal. We're going to poke for 6s. So, guys, I planned out my turn. Please, guys, pay close attention. Lock in for a minute here. The only thing I wanted to play this turn was either another Kuzan or a Borsalino over my brand new. That's my entire turn. Okay, well, if that's the case, and I played out the brand new first, of course, you know, to do the search. That's 2 Dawn gone, and I only need 4 more Dawn for my turn with Borsalino or Kuzan. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I have 4 Dawn to distribute however I need to, but, you know, and I can do that in any way I need to, and still have the 4 Dawn left for the Kuzan or Borsalino if a better opportunity emerges. So what we do here is it's like, okay, well then let's swing this out as much as we can. We'll swing for a bunch of 6s here and a 7 and see what happens to our opponent. They're down to 1 life card. Whoa, okay, well you see, now my plan changes, okay? So my play was built around a certain thing that I could do to fall back on at all times, and a better opportunity presented itself. Like, wait a minute, they have 0 life. They have 6 cards in hand, no blocker. I can swing 9 and 9 here when they have 6 cards in hand. They would have to have exactly, to get out of this, they would have to have exactly 4 2Ks and 2 1Ks. Not a single brick in hand. It'd have to be exactly 4 2Ks and 2 1Ks. So they could go 2K, 2K, 1K to get out of the first 9, and then 2K, 2K, 1K to get out of the second 9. So I'm putting them on that, saying, hey, no, I'm going to require you to have exact lethal. They end up just tapping out. They did not have even close to 2K, 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 1K, 1K. They had 2 1Ks. So good game to my opponent there. Whenever you're doing your plays, guys, make sure you're doing proper sequencing so you can actually change your play if a better opportunity comes up. Like, for example, if your opponent uses a blocker when you thought they might not. You see what I'm saying? Okay, good stuff there. Good game to my opponent. Green-Black Issho. Green-Black Issho showing up for us today. I think this deck does have some potential if we can build it more into the board flood direction. Who knows? Maybe when we get into OP11 with some of the new Navy and Sword cards, maybe we'll have better options then. We'll have to see what happens. Okay, so that was Green-Black Issho. Let me go on to the next one. It is Green Oden. Okay, now we're going to be playing Green Oden versus Marshall D. Teach. Okay, 2x speed, volume is off. Here we go. Not a bad hand, actually. And I have to give a shout-out real quick while we're waiting for the Blackbeard player here. Big shout-out to my guy Vice. I think that's how he would say it. It's like V1CE, like the one for, as like an I. And maybe it was even V1C3. I can't remember. Anyway, shout-out to Vice who sent me this deck list. Pretty spicy. There's some spicy stuff going on here. Okay, they're gonna. We developed 2 Momonosuke's on the board because they're only on a 3 Dawn turn. They cannot play out the Shiryu to pop this. They could play out a. They could have. Let me pause for a second. They could have technically played out the Doc Q, but I'm not worried about that. That's completely fine. We would probably just run into it and move on from there. But apparently they didn't have that either. Excuse me. And we would still be able to have another searcher because I played out 2 of them. And here we go now. And they couldn't play out Shiryu. That was the other thing I was trying to say is that's a 4-cost card. So now it's my turn. They didn't remove any of my Momonosuke's. I'm going to get to draw 2 extra cards this turn, even though we played out 2 cards on the turn before. We're going to get to draw 2 extra cards this turn, and you know, go from there, which allows us to use our leader's effect, right? Which, you know, the leader effect, we have to trash a card to stand 2 Dawn is active. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to trash a card from our hand. We have plenty of cards in hand. We'll get rid of one of these Rizos. I don't think we need both of those. And we're going to go and play out the Rizo, I think, and the 1-cost Momonosuke. We're going to attack first, proper sequencing there. Play out the Rizo, play out the other Momonosuke. That one's, you know, that one can do some card drawing, right? That one can definitely do some card drawing. But I will say this, I'm more interested in just using the You Can Be My Samurai next turn to do like a real efficient draw there. Okay, now they play out the Shiryu. So it was good. How do I say this? We played around that very well. Remember I was saying, like, playing out the 2 guys, I'm gonna assume my opponent has a Shiryu they want to play on me. So I'm going to try and fill my board out as wide as I can so that thing has way less value than it should have. Because he's popping smaller targets if I'm going that wide. And I'm also going to have more stuff afterwards, right? So we just ate 1 attack with a Momonosuke after drawing with it. And then he did use the Shiryu effectively, got rid of our best character there, which was Rizo, but that's okay. Okay, was I saying Rigo this whole time? Sorry guys if I was, I meant Rizo. R-A-I-Z-O, Rizo. Okay, so we are now on our 6 Dawn turn. I don't want to just slam down the Kinemon. That's not something I'm really trying to do here. Let's see if we can, you know, I want to try and get some other options here. Because, honestly, the Kinemon is really strong, but he's shut down my attacks for the turn. Right, like he's shut down my on plays for the turn, so I can't play out the Kinemon and cheat out like a Okiku or whatever. It just doesn't work like that because they shut down our on play effects with the Blackbeard's leader effect. So we play out the Denjiro there. We should have attacked first before playing any of this stuff out, just in case he had the Shigan Finger Pistol. Luckily, he did not. We follow up with an Okiku, and here we go. Excuse me. Allergies are acting up. My apologies, guys. The pollen's getting thick down here in Florida where I live. Okay, so they do swing into my Momonosuke there. They get that off the board. That's completely fine. We're not worried about that at all. They do play out a Kuzan, but guys, I have Okiku on the board. Okiku can rest down Kuzan. So a lot of people, don't be confused. They're going to swing for 7. We're going to gladly take that. Pause. So that's going to be my opponent's entire turn, unless they choose to use this Kuzan to pull out another character from their trash, you know, which I think they should do, by the way. I think they should absolutely go, okay, I'm going to play out Kuzan, or I'm going to use the Kuzan to use his effect right away to draw a card and pull a 5-cost or lower Blackbeard Pirates card for the trash put into play, because my Okiku is going to rest down that Kuzan next turn 100% of the time. Just to give you guys a heads up, that's how that's going to go. Okay, so let's see what happens here. He did not use the Kuzan, so that, I mean, I would consider that a play mistake, considering that Kuzan is not safe. A lot of people think, that's what I was going to say earlier, people think that Kuzan is just safe no matter what. He is not. Okay, Kuzan can still be dealt with, he just can't be removed by effects. Okay, so if I rest him down, okay, you know, now I can do some stuff. Now I can do stuff. Okay, so I'm going to play out the Momonosuke. We're starting to set up for a Kinemon here. Watch this, guys. The 2-cost Kinemon cards, you have to have the card in the trash in order to use the effect. But watch this. I'll explain it more in just a second. So we're going to swing for 8. We're going to stand 2 Dawn as active with the Denjiro. This is probably going through. That would take 2 cards out of hand. Pause. So notice in the top right corner, I have the card. So this card, people are kind of messing around with the idea of it being like an Exodia style piece. It's not exactly that, but I think you'll see what they mean when we read the card here. It's a 2-cost, 1,000 power, 1K counter. The other is a 2-cost, 0 power, 2K counter, but then they both have the exact same effect that says activate main. You may place this character and a Kinemon with 0 power or 1,000 power if it's the other one from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and play up to 1 Kinemon with 6 cost from your hand. So watch what we do here. I have to have 1 in the trash, right? Place this character and a Kinemon with 0 power from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then play up to 1 Kinemon with a cost of 6 from your hand. Well, I don't have any in my trash. This is where game knowledge comes in very handy. I'm about to have 5 characters on the board if I play this character out. So what does that mean? I will be able to play this character out and then play out the other version of Kinemon on top of it to put it into the trash, and then use the activate main to play out the 6-cost Kinemon. Okay, game knowledge is very, very important when operating with this deck. We have exactly 5 Dawn left, by the way. Let me make sure I hit play. I did. So we can actually do the Momonosuke search here if we want to. Let's see if we choose to do that. I think we should. Again, I'm kind of, this was my first time playing the deck, so I had to kind of figure things out, make sure I was doing everything correctly. We'll go ahead and grab a 2K counter there. Now watch this. With our remaining 4 Dawn, play out this Kinemon. Now play out the other Kinemon on top of it, using the one that was in the trash to get out the Kinemon. We could not use the on-play effect for the 6 cost because he locked down our leader's on-play effect. That would have been really nice to replace one of these 1-cost Momonosuke's with the other 3-cost Okiku we have in hand. But notice what this guy does. 6-cost, 6K Kinemon. This is from all the way back in OP01. On play, if your leader is Kazuki Oden, play up to 1 9 red Scabbage type character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. And then there's also a Dawn ×1 effect. When attacking once per turn, set up to 1 of your 9 red Scabbage type characters with a cost of 3 or less is active. So very, very powerful effect there. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. They're going to play out the Kuzan here, and they're going to cheat out the Burgess. They learned their lesson from last time, getting the full value from the card immediately against a deck like this that can tap down characters. Because that really hurt them last turn, guys. We were able to get a very high tempo, high value playoff against them, and now they're in a bit of trouble here because we can easily swing for lethal on the board next turn. For those who are not aware how this deck works, we're going to have a minimum of 5 attacks if we do things with with the 3-cost, 5-cost, 6-cost on our leader. Watch what happens here. They play out the Vasco shot. That's not going to help you. The Vasco shot will not help you because of my Okiku. All right, watch this, guys. See if y'all can calculate lethal real quick. I'll let you guys do it. Pause the video and see if you've got lethal on the board here, or at least something very close to it, depending on what they get from triggers, right? Okay? I'm assuming you paused it. Now I'm going to break it down. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swing for 7 with Okiku. Okiku's going to rest the Vasco shot. They don't even get access to that card now. Okay, so let's just assume they have 2K, 2K, 2K in hand, like the best possible counters in hand. Okay, well, I'm swinging for 7. Do they want to use both of those? Okay, they're down to 1 card in hand, and we rest their Vasco shot, right? Well, now, what I'm probably going to do is play out, I mean, I guess I could use both Momonosuke's first to get 2 Dawn rested to use for Denjiro's effect. So that was 1 attack, and they have 1 card left in hand. So now what we're going to do is we're going to swing for 8 with the Denjiro, just to stand up the 2 Dawn we'd use to do some searching with the, the Momonosuke's. That's going to go through no matter what, because they only had 1 card in hand. Now they have 2 cards in hand, but they're down to 1 life. Now we're going to swing for 7 with our Kinemon, and that's going to, let's just say they have exactly enough counter, right? So that was our 3rd attack, and now they have exact counter to get out of that, but we're standing up our Okiku. Now we're going to swing in for 7 more with Okiku. They're down to 0 life, and they have 1 card in hand. It doesn't matter what the card is. We get to swing everything in with our leader. So we actually have lethal here, unless both of their remaining life cards are triggers that KO our characters. That's the only way around it at this point. All right, so let's see how that happens. Watch it unfold. And again, that was assuming they had exact perfect counters in hand. So, again, we're going to do the searching first for the Momonosuke so we can get full value from our Denjiro's effect and filling our hand up. I mean, we're in a very good position here. I'm trying to do a little bit of math, as you can see here. Yeah, the answer is just to swing 7 to start here, resting down the Vasco shot, saying, give me your entire hand, because now you're going to make my math a lot easier from here on. Okay, they're going to go ahead and take that, and they're just going to pass. So now, again, notice now we know it's in their hand and life. They have a 2K, 1K, so my next attack here was probably going to be the Denjiro, just in case the last card was a, just in case their last card was a, what's it called, the finger pistol, right? Or even the I bid 500 million. Right, I wanted to swing with the Denjiro first to stand my Dawn up, and that's going to be an 8K hit, and it's going to go through. They literally can't counter out of it. Okay, then, no matter what it is, we're going to be able to swing everything in with our leader. So there's pretty much no kind of way for them to get out of this one, as long as we swing for 7 first with our Okiku to get rid of that Vasco shot. Good game to my opponent. Very nice list here. Again, big shout out to Vice for hooking me up with this awesome green Oden list. Okay, now we got one more game. That's right, guys. I know this was a shorter video for me today. But we're taking a little break here on the weekend, so y'all bear with me. But we got another spicy one here of blue Ivankov versus purple Luffy. Pause. Okay, and now notice the purple Luffy we're playing against. I think this is the one that likes to go second. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure. But whenever I see the excuse me, the Don Quixote Pirates package, I think that version likes to go better. I think they like to go second better. Whatever the case is, we end up going, I think we chose to go second with this list. I could be wrong about that. I don't even remember, guys. I wish sometimes... Understand when I record these, we can't see at the bottom right. I record with an overlay on, so I have no idea who got to go first or second here. But I think typically that purple Luffy likes to go second. Okay, if they're running this version of the deck. So they're going to swing it for 5. We're going to aggressively counter out of everything because that's what Ivankov wants to do. Notice, for those who are not aware, the leader, Ivankov, says if you have 0 cards in your hand at the end of your turn, you can draw 2 cards. That's not a great effect by, modern standards, right? In the current meta we're in, that's not really a great effect. But that stage does help us to get down cards in hand and cycle through our deck really quickly, very efficiently. So we're going to flood the board with a bunch of buggies here, just trying to, and we got rid of their sugars, of course, so they can't do any more searching. But we're filling out the board with buggies here, just trying to fix our hand a little bit and get to our bigger, stronger cards, like the cards we have in hand now. They play out a Senior Pink, getting a card back from the trash. That Senior Pink seems pretty good, guys, in Purple Luffy. I like that quite a bit, especially getting back these one-cost purple events, if you know what I mean. So we're going to play out the Monkey D. Luffy. We're not going to use the effect because we cannot. You can only bounce a 4-cost or lower with that effect. They're going to play out the Charlotte Linlin, and they're going to life our card. Okay, we're up to 6 life now. But, guys, I still want to counter out. Not because I'm afraid of getting taken out this turn, but I want to get my hand size all the way down to 0. I want to get my hand size all the way down to 0, because if I can combo that with the 6-cost Inazuma and the leader effect, I can draw 4 cards per turn if I'm down to 0. And 5, I guess, technically, if the draw for the turn. So we go ahead and play out the Inazuma here. Did you guys see what just happened? Hang on. I did that so fast, I bet we missed what happened there. So watch this. We're going to play out... Oh, okay, excuse me. I didn't the crazy turn here. So right there, I still had 2 cards left in hand. And the 6-cost Inazuma says at the end of your turn, if you have 2 or less cards in hand, draw 2 cards. That's how you're able to combo it with the leader. Okay? They're going to play out their, I think that's their third sugar of the game. They're doing some big searching. They've got a pretty serious board over there, guys. That board is no joke. They're going to swing for 5. We are going to counter out. They're going to swing it for 6. We get this Gum Gum Champion Rifle, but that's not going to really help us in this situation. We're not really worried about that. And here we go. Let's start off with a 2K attack into 1 on the sugar. Get that out of the way. Proper sequencing, guys. Just move this out of the way unless you're trying to play around a purple event, because they may or may not be running Slow Beam Sword, or excuse me, Nor Beam Sword. There it is. Now they get to rest down one of our attackers. Very nice, and they got out of the attack. Okay, they're probably not going to get out of this one, but that's okay. That did everything they needed it to do this turn. Okay, here we go. So we still have we have all the Dawn in the world left to work with here. Let's see what we choose to do. We're going to go 6 into 6. They let it go. They actually let that go. I think I'm probably just going to swing 10 into 9 here, and then I could just Red Rock something off the board. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll just Red Rock now and then swing 7 at face. We're going to use the stage here, and we're going to not trash any extra cards, and we're going to pass with 3 Dawn active. We don't get to draw any cards from any of our end of turn effects, but watch this. Who knows what Gum Gum Champion Rifle does, guys? Who knows what this card does at the very top right here? Pause and read that if you don't know what it does. It is a 1-cost blue event, and your leader does have the Impel Down type. So if your leader has the Impel Down type, give up to one of your leaders plus 2,000 power until the end of this battle. Okay? You can give to a leader or a character, but watch this. Then your opponent returns one of their active characters to the owner's hand. Oh, what a coincidence. I have 3 of these to use this turn, and he has 3 active characters. Watch this. I'm going to over counter here. It is working out kind of weird in the sim. Like, it always goes back to, like, choose no blocker after doing that. So, we do have to, you know, I'm not sure how else to say it. You have to hit no blocker in between each one of these interactions for some reason on the sim. Okay, and we fully countered out and pushed their entire board back to hand. And they have 2 Dawn left. They swing it for 5. Okay, you can have the buggy. They're going to pass the turn. Did they draw a life there? I missed that. Yeah, they actually draw a life to get a Dawn active there, because they're probably thinking they're about to lose the game right now, and they're probably not far from that, right? They're probably not far from that. I think in this situation, okay, I end up trashing that Ivankov. I'm probably going to trash every card out of my hand this turn here. Okay, I guess not, because I did not do it. But here we go. We're going to swing for 7. We swing for 5, swing for 7, swing for 7. Oh, wow. They used a Hell's Judgment there. That was very, very powerful. So that does kind of mess our turn up a little bit. But we're still going to poke in for 5, at least force a card out of hand. And then I think we can Red Rock this off the board and still draw 2 cards with our Inazuma. Oh, it looks like we're going to go super aggressive here. I do like that as well. Let's go super aggressive here. And then we're going to Red Rock that card off the board. In a turn, we're going to draw 2 from the Inazuma. We see 2 stages. Not ideal. Not exactly what we were going for, but, you know, we did see 2 stages. Okay. That'll be easy to get rid of next turn, though, with the stage we have turned on right now. Okay, they do get rid of our Inazuma. And then they're going to... What was it? I think it was... Hang on. Let me see something, guys. I'm sorry. I got lost there. So, okay, so we got rid of that card. Yep, and now it's their turn. Let's see what they choose to do to get rid of our Inazuma. Was it a Gamma Knife? Pay 2, -1, Gamma Knife, -5, 5 into 2. I can't save it. I would have saved it if I could have. And now they're going to do some searching. Going to play out Senior Pink. They're going to snag back a Gum Gum Giant, I think. Yep, very nice. Very, very powerful interaction there. And now we're going to use the stage here. We're going to do a draw card, and we can trash up to 3 cards afterwards with the stage's effect. We're probably going to trash... I'm trying to do a little bit of math right now to make sure I do this correctly. We're going to trash those cards, and here we go. I don't know why we didn't just trash the stage. Maybe I'm going to do the stage at the end. I don't remember what I do here, guys. I did this game. I played this game about 2 weeks ago now, I think. Or a week or two, something like that. A week ago, maybe 2, maybe 3. You never know, guys. I play so much. Okay, so now, okay, that's what it was. So watch this. We're going to actually get the interaction off. That's what we did. So I played it out in this exact order so that I could get the 7-cost Ivankov down, which draws cards as well, to play out the Inazuma, to play out the other stage, to trash all the remaining cards from my hand. And now, at the end of this turn, I have 0 cards in hand. Excuse me. We're going to draw 4 cards at the end of this turn. Watch this, guys. At the end of our turn, we're going to swing for 7. They 2K, 1K. Very nice. And now we use the effect there, draw 4. Seems good. Make sure you do the leader effect first, because he says if you have 0 or less cards, or 0 cards in hand, draw 2. And then Inazuma says if you have 2 cards in hand, 2 cards or less in hand, draw 2. Okay, they're going to swing 8 and a 7 here. We're going to counter out as aggressively as we can, and because of that, they can't get out of it now. So we still had even more counter power in hand. They were trying to clear it up a little bit more. Look at their life, by the way. Even more triggers, or excuse me, even more event cards. Anyone who might be wondering, like, well, why didn't they just play out the Charlotte Lindland? Remember, guys, they were only on. Well, they were on exactly 9 Dawn this turn, so they wouldn't have any Dawn active to play any events afterwards, so they'd just be in trouble. So they had to grab back the Senior Pink. And that was actually, was that the turn before? Yeah, excuse me, they ramped at the end there. Guys, hang on. So watch what they did here. So this was at the end of our turn. We draw 4 cards. Look at this. They're only on, okay, so they were only on 7 Dawn after drawing cards for the turn. They drew 2 more Dawn from the It's to Die For. So they couldn't even play out the card if they wanted to. They were in a very tough spot from all those Gum Gum Giants. That's going to be the balance you're going to have to find playing Purple Luffy. Playing this version of Purple Luffy, which I love this version. I like it a whole lot. I haven't got to try it, but I've only seen it, and I like what I'm seeing here. And you're going to have to try to find the balance of how to, you know, the Dawn minus effects can really hurt you. So anyway, good stuff there. Really enjoyed those games. So that's it for today for the games on the sim. Hope y'all enjoyed that. We had some really spicy ones. We're going to go over the deck list now for all the decks we went over. First up is Green Black Issho. Green Black Issho, this is the version I'm running. Now that we have access to cards like Issho, Smoker, and Tashigi, I think we have to start using these. And who knows, maybe Green Black Issho is a decent rogue deck right now. I haven't done enough testing to know for sure. But it seems decent, let me say that. Because, I mean, some of these cards are just insane. Smoker's just a good card. It just simply is a good card. Here's what I think Navy is really missing right now is a good, strong 3-cost character. Like, and I'm not talking about Tashigi. Like, yes, this is fine. You can play this out on curve and protect your, you know, your following turn, I guess. But no, we need like a really strong 3-cost character, like what they have in Sanji right now over in red. I'm not saying it needs to be this exact card. This is, you know, obviously catered towards the red type with the power manipulation. However, if we had like a really strong, because right now our turn 1 is excellent. Turn 1 going Sengoku, I'm rarely upset with that play. I'm rarely upset with going turn 1 Sengoku. But if we had a really strong turn 2 3-cost card, like a 3-cost 5K, and there are some, like, to be fair, there are some 3-cost 5Ks we can consider in this deck, like Kobe. Kobe is obviously a very good card. Maybe we do just break off the Navy type and go with Brook. It's just, again, it's just another good card, and that is not a once per turn effect. Okay, I guess I was gonna say, wait a minute, it doesn't matter in this deck because Issho stands at the end of the turn. But yeah, we've got some good options, and the last one I want to mention is Tashigi, 3-cost 5K Navy character, Dawn ×1 when attacking, -3 cost to a character for the turn. So that we've got some pretty decent options there, and I'm not even running this Tashigi in there. I forgot about that. This deck has plenty of room for improvement. I don't want to hear people ask me, why aren't you running this card? Why aren't you running this card? You know why? Because this is my first time messing with this deck list, and it needs improvements. It has room for improvement, okay? Now, let's run through this list. We kind of got ahead of ourselves there. So this is the leader, 5,000 power, 4 life, green-black leader, Navy leader, all the way back from OP04. That's right, guys. That's block 1. How crazy is that? That's how long Issho's been out, all the way since block 1. 5,000 power, 4 life, Dawn ×1, your turn. All of your opponent's characters have -1 to their cost. And then end of turn, pay 1, set up to one of your characters with a cost of 5 or less is active. So in this deck, being able to swing in with a Smoker and then standing it up afterwards to protect it, that's very, very strong. And this 1 Dawn, you know, the activate main from Smoker, we're going to be able to use with our leader's effect at the, the end of the turn effect from our leader. We can protect this card very easily with that, so that's really nice. Or even with these Kuzans, getting to swing in with Kuzan and then stand it up in a turn, getting the -4, really, really strong. So this is the leader. I'm going to run through the list pretty quickly here. Most of these cards are very old. Pause and read it if you don't know what they do. We're running 2 X-Drakes, 3 Rosinante, 3 of the 8-cost Rosinante, 4 of the 2-cost Rosinante, 3 of the 5-cost Issho, 4 of the 5-cost Green Smoker, 4 of the 2K counter Tashigi, 4 T-Bone, 4 Kuzan, 2 Sakazuki, 4 Suru, 4 Borsellino, 2 Kuzans, 2 Ishos, the 8-cost Issho. Yeah, and I should have said the 10-cost Kuzan. This is the only card that's not searchable, by the way, guys. This is not a Navy searchable card. Even though it says former Navy, this can only search with cards that are actually Navy. Whenever you see the winged bracket like that, their type has to say exactly what it says. If the card says with types including and then quotations the type, then we could have run Kuzan. But as is with the winged brackets for Navy, we can't search up Kuzan with brand new. But so we're running 2 of the 8-cost Issho, 4 brand news, and 4 Sengoku. Again, every single card in this deck is searchable except this one card. Okay, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this is it for now for the Green-Black Issho list. I'm a big fan of Green-Black Issho. I will show you guys a version I was running a long time ago. I got to give a shout out to one of my buddies, another content creator named Khan. I always try to shout him out because he's the one who turned me on to this really good black-green Issho list. Let's see if I can find this thing. Oh, geez. Now I can't find it. I think I called it black-green, like BG. Yeah, here it is. This was the version that he came up with all the way back. I mean, notice what's in here. You know, Gecko Moria's in here. This probably was all the way back, and let me see, like EB01 was probably the most recent set that had come out back then, because all these other cards are from OP06 or before. So this is like the EB01, OP06 format, and I made some slight revisions to it. So again, big shout out to Khan. This is his list. And then I made some revisions to it to just kind of make it my own and make it my own style. And I made some very slight revisions. And the deck was really strong back then. It was a very good rogue pick, you know, especially for like a more casual night at like a locals. It was actually a really solid pick. But now Gecko Moria is gone. We have to do things differently. But notice it was never running. It's not running Ice Age. So you could just -4 Gecko and just go from here. Maybe just add the new Smoker or something like that. I don't think it'd be that hard to improve the list from this point on. And for the 2K counter package, we could just drop these Peronas here and go up the Tashigi. And you can leave right off from where Khan left off with a very strong, refined Issho list from way back. Like I said, I think it was like OP07, EB01, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly. But the list we were running today was, okay, now hopefully I can find this. Guys, I have so many decks at this point. I know people are like, yeah, we tried to get you to delete those on the stream. Hey, guys, if you're not on the stream, be sure to hop on there. We do those Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, and they run all the way to 12 a.m., sometimes a little bit later. So check this out. This is the list we are running today. So it's not a whole lot different, but it is quite a bit different. You know, there's a lot of cards. I didn't build this deck around the whole... Let me explain like this. The original Green-Black Issho list we were looking at, that Khan's version, that was built around that entire value engine of 8-cost Gecko Moria into 4-cost Rebecca, with bringing back, you know, Gecko Moria bringing back the Helmeppo and the Rebecca, and then Rebecca pulling out the 3-cost Brook and throwing that into play and going from there. So that combo, half of that combo is still usable, the Rebecca plus... the Rebecca plus Brook, but since you lose the 2-cost as well from what Gecko provided, I think we'll probably have to take the deck in a slightly different direction, and this is what I was kind of messing with for now. We'll have to see how things go in the future. So there's the Green-Black Issho list. Let's go to the next one. We got Oden. Okay, now this list was by, again, so this list is by Vice. Someone, I don't think they're a content creator. If they are, I apologize. They didn't tell me they were when we were messaging, like through DMs on Discord. But they're like, hey man, I really want you to check out this deck list if you get a chance to. Checked it out. Very solid list. Let me hit green here, and then we'll type in Wano to bring up all the Land of Wano stuff. So the idea here, here's what the leader does. It's a 5,000 power, 5 life mono green leader. Wano, Land of Wano, Kazuki family types. The activate main is once per turn. Trash 1 Wano type character. I think that's a mistranslation, guys. I think it should say 1 Land of Wano type card from your hand, and then set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. Back when this game first came out, trashing a card from your hand was like total nonsense, right? Like, no, we're not doing that. You know, hey, that's not happening. Like, I get it. We have a searcher in the form of Kazuki Momonosuke, but back then we didn't have You Can Be My Samurai, right? Or maybe, actually, I guess we did. That was back in OP01, but no one was using this. It's just like the idea with how Ice Age was. A lot of these one-cost events way back that came out all the way back in OP, you know, I'll just say Block 1 because Ice Age obviously came out in Block, or in OP02. With actually Ice Age, we gotta look that up right now. I'm sorry, guys, we're all over the place. Because was that did that first come out in the starter deck? I'm not sure. No, so it did come out in OP02. I wasn't sure if it came out in ST06 with Sakazuki, but no, this came out in OP02. Now let's go back to the Wano stuff. You Can Be My Samurai came out all the way back in OP01, and I don't think it was used very much. I mean, people did use it, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that no one used it, but it wasn't used a whole lot. But now we have a lot of these incredible targets we can double their value off of with You Can Be My Samurai. So, for example, after we do a top 5 search for a green Land of Wano card with Otama, well, that's everything in this deck, right? After we do a top 5 search with Otama, then it's kind of worthless, right? The card doesn't really do much anymore. Well, no problem. We can now get extra value from it with the You Can Be My Samurai. You see what I'm saying? And same thing with Kazuki Hiyori and all that. I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. Hang on. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Kazuki Oden, back in the day, trashing a card from hand, though, that was kind of crazy talk. And that's why back in OP02, the black cards weren't that strong. Every single removal you played forced you to trash a card from hand, you know, other than like the big 10-cost Kuzan. And that wasn't even searchable by Navy because it was former Navy. You know, very, very annoying, you know, little details there. You know, it was a little bit technical, but there were some things there that really held it back. Well, now things have gone into a different direction. And with all these new cards on the board, like Kinemon here, these two versions of Kinemon, remember, one is a 2K counter, the 0 power one is, and the 1K counter one's just a 1000 power character. But these activate mains are not rest this character. Notice that? They don't say you may, you know, rest this character and then do whatever it does. No, you can just do it even if it's rested. So in other words, you can play out something like, let's just say you have one of these Kinemon in your trash, and then you play out the other one, and you play out a Hiyori. Well, you can now rest the Hiyori and the Kinemon to do a bunch of card draw with the Samurai, and then trashing one card, your leader effect's not as big a deal then. Okay, I keep getting off on these rabbit trails. Let's go through the list here. So this is the leader. The effect is actually not that, it doesn't feel that bad anymore. That's the main thing I'm trying to stress here. Then we're running 4 Hiyori. We're going to talk more about this in a minute. So 4 Hiyori, 4 Izo, 4 Okiku, 4 Kinemon, the 6 cost, 4 Momonosuke, 4 Denjiro, 4 Raizo, 2 Cat Viper, 4 Otama, 4 Kinemon, and then 4 Kinemon. These are the 2 cost ones, the 1K counter and the 2K counter. And then 4 more Momonosuke's. This is another Searcher. We'll talk more about this in a second. And then 4 of the Searcher event. So again, there's a lot of activate main stuff going on here. Notice, I mean, there's a lot of when attacking and activate main stuff going on in this deck. There's a few on plays that are very, very powerful, like on play this Otama Searcher. This Izo is a rest out of 4 or less on play, and then this Kinemon can play out a 3-cost exactly a 3-cost 9 red Scabbards card from your hand. So that would be like Izo, I believe. Actually, is Izo not one? This one might not be, excuse me. But this Okiku is. This is the main card you want to cheat out with it. Let me see if these are. These are 9 red Scabbards as well. So that could be kind of interesting. I wonder, maybe if you have 2 Kinemon in hand, you can like play out this Kinemon to cheat out this Kinemon to play another Kinemon if you have one in your trash. I'm sorry, that was super confusing, but I guess there's some kind of potential there. But then the other 3-cost card to look out for is Raizo. Raizo is a great card when attacking once per turn. If you have two or more rested characters, draw a card when attack. That's a when attacking draw a card effect. We'll take that every single time. So really good stuff here. These are the 2 main cards to. Oh, and excuse me, I almost forgot Cat Viper. Okay, Inarashi, I think his name is, or Cat Viper. I'm not sure if that's the exact correct translation, but this card is excellent in the deck. It's a 3-cost 4K blocker that you can cheat out with the Kinemon with your own play effects. So really good stuff there. We have to spend a little bit of time talking about Kazuki Hiyori. I wish there were a few, just kind of looking at this deck list, I wish we had 1 or 2 more options like Denjiro. That's just a really strong 4 or 5 cost Land of Wano type character to cheat out with Hiyori. And we'll talk about some slight revisions to this list in a second. At least in my mind, what's going through my mind. But this Hiyori says you may place this card into your trash and then place up to 1 cost 5 or lower Land of Wano type character other than Kazuki Hiyori from your hand into play and then draw 1 card. So in other words, we can play this out going second, play this out on turn 2 for 4 Dawn, and then we can cheat out Denjiro and draw a card. So really, really powerful interaction there. And again, it's an activate main and placing this card into the trash. So we can use, if we have more Dawn for the turn, we can rest down another character and the Hiyori with the You Can Be My Samurai to draw even more cards before cashing in on the actual effect. So really good stuff here. There's a lot of 2K counters in here that I feel like you just wouldn't expect, or at least I wouldn't. Like this Otama Searcher is a 2K counter. This Izo that rests of 4 or less is a 2K counter, and this Kinemon is a 2K counter. So really good stuff there. The Okiku is incredible, resting down blockers or prime targets you want to attack into later. 3 cost 5K. It can be cheat out with the Kinemon, and it's just nice to play out on curve on turn 2. Great card. This is just an absolutely solid solid card in the deck. Then we got this 6-cost Kinemon. We already read this card. Momonosuke is a Searcher. Denjiro, when attacking, standing up 2 rested Dawn, as long as you have at least 1 Dawn attached. Raizo drawing cards. Cat Viper is a blocker. Otama, 2K counter and a Searcher. And then these Kinemons are more for the Kinemon tricks. And then we have this Momonosuke. This last one we'll talk about because we've gone through everything else. This is a 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1k counter searcher that says you may rest 2 of your Dawn and place this character into your trash. Notice what they did there. They wanted you to be able to use this card with You Can Be My Samurai before cashing in on it. So imagine you say you have an Otama down. Where's Otama? So say you play out the 1-cost Otama, you do a top 5 search, and you grab You Can Be My Samurai or this Momonosuke, whichever one you didn't have in hand, and then assume you have the other one in hand for this example. You play out the Momonosuke, you may rest 2 of your Dawn and place this character in your trash, right? So we won't do that yet. Instead, we'll use the You Can Be My Samurai to rest down the Otama and the Momonosuke to draw 2 cards. Then we'll activate the main that says rest 2 of your Dawn and place this character into your trash, and then do a top 5 search and reveal up to 2 Akazaya 9 type cards and put them in your hand, then bottom the rest in any order. So that means grab a Raizo and an Okiku, or maybe a Cat Viper, stuff like that, or one of these pieces you need, one of the Kinemon pieces you need, and that was only a 3 Dawn investment if you played it all out in 1 turn. Like I said, 1 cost for Otama, 1 cost for the You Can Be My Samurai, and then, or excuse me, 1 cost for the Momonosuke, then 1 cost for You Can Be My Samurai. Now, it does cost 2 more Dawn to do this effect, but here's the nice thing. Our leader, because we're drawing so many cards right there, that's when we can cash in on our leader effect, trashing. Say we have one of the Kinemon in hand already, we can trash the other one, and then play out from there, playing out the Kinemon, cheating out the 3-cost stuff, or the 3-cost Okiku, or the Raizo, or whatever. Really cool stuff there. I really wish we had like 1 or 2 tech cards in here like the Yamato, just so we have 1 or 2 more options other than Denjiro to play out off of the Kazuki Hiyori. That's the only complaint I really had in this entire list. This thing feels strong. It looks good. It'd be nice to have a few more blockers. I'm the kind of person, I do like to have blockers to fall back on, because that's just something, you know, sometimes you got to do it. You know, and plus if we do go up these Cat Vipers here, we will have more options with Denjiro. You know, that could be very good. Or excuse me, not with Denjiro. What am I talking with Kinemon to cheat out more potential targeteer? That could be really solid. But yeah, what I was going to say was I'm the kind of person I like to attack all out and say, hey, I hope this little blocker helps me out here. We're going to have to fully rely on this blocker here, and hey, if it works, it works. If not, it doesn't. But yeah, that's and there's another option I was going to say is I would like to see if we're not going to if say people don't really like this Yamato card. I understand that. It's not the greatest card out there. It's a secret rare that just never really took off no matter what deck you put it in. And it's not that it's a bad card. I guess it just doesn't line up. It's just not practical. It's too easy to take care of or counter out of or something. But hey, when it does hit, it's pretty much game over. But another option, if you don't really like this this Yamato here, is this Ryuma. Ryuma, it's a Land of Wano searchable card, has on play and KO popping a 4 or less, and it's a 4 cost 6k. That's a pretty strong body there. And it would just be a nice tech card to have in here to help deal with some of the annoying cards that go sideways on the board. But I will say, not being able to hit a 5 or less right now in this current meta, it's definitely a knock against the card. So who knows? Maybe not. Maybe even this Yamato. Maybe it might be a better choice than your cards. This card's name is also Trias Kazuki Oden. On play, rest down to 6 or less. Could be some options there. Okay, that's that list. Now we got one more list to go over, guys. We got the blue Ivankov here. Okay, this deck's name is 000UEI. You know. Very easy name to just pick. Very intuitive name, right? No, but U stands for blue, E stands for Emporio, I stands for Ivankov. So that's how that's why it's all named that way. So check this out, guys. This is just pretty much a right down the center line impel down list here. So the leader, Emporio Ivankov. We'll go through the list first. We got a 5,000 power, 5 life, end of your turn. If you have 0 cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. Okay, 4 Inazuma, the 6 cost. We're going to go through most of these cards. Don't worry, guys. 4 of Prince Bella. This is just a 2k counter. 4 Inazuma. 4 7 cost Ivankov. 4 Buggy. 4 of the 6 cost Luffy. 4 Mr. 1. 4 Mr. 2. 4 Mr. 3. Look at that, guys. That's funny. 1, 2, and 3 there. Very nice. And then 4 Gum Gum Champion Rifle. 2 Gum Gum Rain. This is Impel Down searchable. And then it's Impel Down and Straw Hats. And then we're running 4 Gum Gum Red Rock because it just deals with the big cards we need to get off the board. And then 4 of the stage. Big shout out to my guy Ricky G for making me, how do I say this? Reminding me that I needed to do a game on this leader because I saw them. I was watching them mess around with it on Discord, and they had a really good time with that. That was a lot of fun watching the deck kind of pop off. I don't know if I'm running the exact list he was running, by the way. This is just something I think I just kind of just threw together. And notice it's all 4 ofs and some 2 ofs. And I just went 4 Gum Gum Red Rocks. But yeah. So here we go. So now we're going to break down each card. This card and the leader are really the main draw engine in the deck. This card draws a lot as well. The 7-cost Ivankov says draw cards till you have 3 cards in hand, then play up to 1 blue Impel Down type character card with a cost of 6 or less from your hand. So if, let's say you have this card and the Luffy in hand, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can actually play out the Ivankov. Now you only have 1 card left in hand, and then you can draw 3 cards, or draw up to 3 cards. So that would be draw 2 cards, and then like you'll have 3, play out this Luffy, and go from there. Or say you have 0 cards in hand. Say this is your last card you had. Play this down, draw 3 cards, and then play up to 1 of your characters. The cost of 6 or less. That's blue Impel Down. So this card can actually draw quite a bit. But the main draw engine is definitely what's going on here. The leader is going to say at the end of your turn, if you have 0 cards in hand, draw 2 cards. And then Inazuma says if you have 2 or less cards in hand, draw 2 more cards. So it's, or draw 2 cards. So it's like, okay, with our stage, let me read this real quick and it'll all start coming together. Because otherwise it's like, yeah, but how do I get down to 0 cards at the end of my turn every time? That seems impractical. And it is if you don't have access to the stage. And if you're not countering out aggressively. But this stage is a 1-cost Impel Down stage, new comma land. It says activate main. You may rest this stage. If your leader is Emporio Ivankov, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. Then trash up to 3 cards from your hand. Okay, so this is going to allow you to get a lot of cards out of your hand. And it lets you cycle through your deck very effectively as well. But the idea is you're going to have to do a lot of pre-planning for your turn to where you have exactly 0 cards in hand. These are both end of your turn effects. And if you activate them in the proper order, it's activate the leader first, add 0 cards, draw 2 cards, and now you have 2 cards in hand. Now activate the Inazuma. I have 2 cards or less, draw 2 more cards. So the stage, the leader, the Inazuma, and the stage are what really allow this deck to get the full advantage from all this card draw. Now, what does that do, though? Okay, so that's real nice. So I'm drawing 4 cards, but I'm trashing like my whole hand every time, right? Well, yes and no, because at the same time, we want to counter out. Notice most of the cards, I tried to keep like a lot of counter power in here, or at least like some 0-cost 3Ks to help me get cards out of hand like that as well, and cash out on like cards that might be bricks. But the whole thing is, in this entire deck, other than the stage, because, you know, the stage is definitely a brick, other than the stage, it's like we have 4, 8, 12. We have 12 bricks in here. Again, not counting the stage. That's kind of cheating, I know. But there's really only 12 bricks in here if you think about it, because the stage we're going to play out as soon as we can so that we can start cashing in on that. And then whenever we start going through, you know, start using the stage, we're going to be trashing the next stage we get. Or playing out the new stage to get our hand size even lower and get more cycling through. So that's kind of what's going on there. There's not a lot of bricks in here because you can't really count this as a brick. This is one of our counter events. And this is a very strong card. We saw what this card could do, right? 1 cost counter if your leader has the Impel Down type, plus 1,000 or plus 2,000 to a leader or character for the battle, and then your opponent chooses an active character to send back to their hand. So it doesn't matter how big the character is, what the cost is, or the power. It doesn't matter. Okay, other than that, we've got a bunch of pretty decent blockers in here. This Mr. 3 Galdino and this Inazuma. So we've got 2 4-cost 5K blockers. This one has end of your turn, trash your card, set this card as active. And remember, guys, if you have a bunch of end of turn effects, you get to choose the order in which they resolve. So if you have 1 card left in your hand at the end of the turn, and this card is there, you can trash this card first, then use your leader's end of turn, then use your Inazuma's end of turn. So you can do things in the correct order as long as they all resolve on the same timing, right? So good stuff there. And then this Inazuma blocker says if you have 1 or less cards in hand, this character gains plus 2,000 power. So again, it's all, if I'm countering out super aggressively and I'm down to 1 or less cards in hand, and I go to block here, that's a 7K blocker. It's a 4-cost 7K, and he's a 1K counter. Prince Bell is just a 2K counter in here, guys. The effect is Dawn times 1 when attacking. If you have 1 or less cards in your hand, return 1 character with a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. Sure, I guess we can bounce back Buggies and do more searching, or maybe this card. And by the way, Mr. 1 Das Bones is not bad because we can get our champion rifles back to hand, which could mess up our opponent's attacks. Buggy is a top 5 searcher for blue Impel Down cards. Now, Luffy will spend a little bit of time on it. That's pretty much the entire list at that point. It's a 6-cost 7K. On play and when attacking, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand, and then this character gains double attack during this turn. That's pretty good because it helps us keep our hand size low, and it helps us fight for the board and potentially push for lethal. So it's not terrible. It's not too bad. There's Das Bones. So Das Bones brings back a 1-cost blue event from your trash and add up to 1 blue event card with a cost of 1. With a cost of 1 exactly from your trash. So you can't bring back like a Gum Gum Rain. You can only bring back a 1 cost event. Then we have this other, this is the one last card we haven't gone over yet. This is a 2K counter, Mr. Bentham, Mr. 2 Bonplay Bentham. It is a 5 cost 5K with a 2K counter. Dawn ×1, when attacking, trash 1 card from your hand, return up to 1 character with a cost of 2 or less to the bottom of its owner's deck. Then when this battle ends, return this character to the bottom of its owner's deck. It is not used for that, guys. I'm just going to be honest. It's not. That's not really what this card is used for. It's really just a 2K counter. I'm just going to call it what it is. I mean, hey, if you can get some extra value from it, by all means do so. But this is meant to just be a 2K counter. All right, that's it, guys. I'm done. What did y'all think of these decks? We went over some pretty crazy, pretty kooky decks. We went over green black Issho. We went over green Oden, and then blue Emporio Ivankov. Just a little bit of fun for the weekend video. Tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Now, let's go ahead and put up the outro page here. Big shout out to everybody who supports me, guys. Guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG player affiliate link, whatever you're doing to support me, I really appreciate it. Helping me through Patreon, PayPal donations, the Playmat supporters, the YouTube members, the Discord community. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you guys so much. Real quick, I do want to mention one more time at the end here. Don't forget, if you like the community locals type of idea, by all means, hop on the Discord. Link is in the channel description. We have Discord community locals every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday now, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it goes from there depending on how many players there are. Okay, so really good stuff there. Be sure to check that out if you're bored or you just want to get some practice in, like in a more of a tournament setting. Okay, all right, I'm done. Hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.